The minute the judges handed down that judgment, we heard some people who were sitting on the gallery saying, well, this is a banana republic, because the judgment did not go on the way of political parties that were here are going against that interdict that was filed by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, to hear more on the reactions from those political parties, we do have Yamkela Mtshiyo from the MK party is going to speak to us. Legacy, what is your reaction on the judgment?
Well, we're disappointed, but it's not unexpected. The judiciary has consistently protected Mr. Ramaphosa. We all know about his 1 billion rand which is undisclosed from his donors. Now, that theme continues as we see today. Remember, the argument that he's making is a very silly one, that his reputation will be harmed by appearing before the impeachment committee. Now, if he has nothing to hide, why should his reputation be affected? If he is not guilty for stuffing his finisher with dollars which have not been accounted for, why is he afraid to come before the impeachment committee? This is a delaying tactic, and it's highly disappointing that the judges would accept the argument that his reputation would be negatively affected, and therefore grant him his request for a stay of this matter.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yamkela Mtshiyo. Now, let us move on to Rise Mzansi. Mr. Mabini is going to speak to us. What is your reaction? You've heard the judges handing down the judgment.
Well, as Rise Mzansi, we note the judgment. One must, of course, fully study the judgment to get a full sense of the court's wisdom in granting this temporary interdict. But ultimately, we abide by the judgment. We're party of the rule of law. So we'll study that judgment and be able to give the people of South Africa a full view of what we believe must be the next steps. But ultimately, our constitution is an evolving document, it's a living document. And of course, the judges would have applied their mind in terms of the constitutional mechanisms involved here. But again, we abide by the judgment, and Parliament must continue doing its work as it best fits these.
Thank you so much. That was Mr. Mabini from Rise Mzansi saying that, well, the judges did their work. They considered every argument that was put before by different political parties. And now we do have Mr. Moloto from Parliament who is going to speak to us about this judgment. Mr. Moloto, the court has said that the impeachment committee must halt its processes until a certain period of time. Your reaction to that?
Look, we do note that the judgment has got serious implications on the work of the National Assembly, particularly insofar as the referral and the expected work that must be undertaken by the impeachment committee. So we have been advised by the judge that the judgment will be made available shortly after this hearing, this court process. And as Parliament, we will scrutinize the details of the judgment. We do understand, of course, that there was no unanimity with regard to this outcome. There are three judgments, and we have got a work that we must undertake to look together with our legal advisors in Parliament to determine the exact implication of this judgment on the whole process that we have been directed to undertake in terms of the judgment of the Constitutional Court. So we are going to be looking at that judgment so that we can have a proper response and a way forward.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. Moloto from the Parliament speaking to us about the next step that they are going to take from now on, as the judgment just came in now from the bench here in the Western Cape High Court. And now we are going to welcome the economic freedom fighters. We understand, or we know, that they are the ones that wrote to the Constitutional Court for it to review the decision that was taken in 2022 to not vote in favor of an impeachment committee with regards to that independent panel report. So now let us welcome the economic freedom fighters. Thank you so much. Well, what is your reaction? You took the matter to the Constitutional Court. You wanted the president to appear before the impeachment committee and account.
Yes. Thank you very much, and good morning to you and the viewers. We are shocked but not surprised because this has been the pattern. Remember, we're dealing here with someone who is avoiding accountability. If you go back, you will notice that the president himself denied that his son was involved in the Bosasa deal. Later on, he came back, he admitted. Then again, Mohamela, the guy who has got a lot of money, nobody knows where he gets it from, was seen with the president. And the president denied knowing him. But at the end, he came back and he agreed that he knows the man. Then it was the Phala Phala. It is the same story. He denies, and then he accepts that, yes, he sold the buffaloes, but the money was kept under the mattresses. Why? We don't know. So here we're dealing with someone who's really avoiding accountability. So it is a pattern, and we're going to study the judgment and see how we then move forward. As I'm saying, we are not surprised. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is Noluthando Noluchinga from the Economic Freedom Fighters, saying they are shocked and they are not surprised as well by the decision taken by the Western Cape High Court. Also agreeing with the Umkhonto we Sizwe Party, who also expressed their shock and disappointment with the decision.